Hey everybody, welcome to Camp Vermilion. We wanted to just show you a few things around camp, things that we were able to do without campers here on site where camp was resting. We were able to get a lot of projects done here in the summer of 2020, and so we're going to show some of those to you today.
So behind me I got one of the new decks on Wake 'em Up, and I just want to make a big thank you to all the volunteers and the support that we had this summer to make sure these projects could get done. So we have the new one on the front that goes the full length, and then we have another one on the side that we replaced to make a little smaller, just because we're not using it as the kitchen anymore. So we have a lot better walkway to get through. So behind me we have the new registration center for Wake 'em Up. You'd recognize it as where the old walk-in coolers and pantry used to be. So last winter we ripped all that out, and then later this spring or fall we started the process on it. You'll also recognize these doors as the old doors from the trail shack that we used to be over in the shop area. It's not quite finished yet. Come this summer, we're gonna actually get some dirt and fill this in, so it's gonna be easy access for everybody at camp. So this is gonna be the registration area, hopefully for this coming up summer. I would like to thank a few of my main volunteers, Steve, Hugh, and Paul, for all the work that they did, and for Hugh to get me a heater so when I was finishing this up in the winter it wasn't too unbearably cold. After the lodge was finished, there was a few issues with rain and snow that we needed to adjust to, so we put up these big lean-tos to protect all the HVAC equipment from snow and rain and other hazards that could happen throughout the summer and winter. I'd also like to thank Steve and Hugh for sitting down and helping figure out a design for these beautiful lean-tos.
And another piece of those lean-tos is that they kind of finish the front of our lodge building, right? They cover up the mechanicals there, and so once this is fully painted, it'll just kind of blend into the building and also to the landscaping. And so we'll continue finishing the landscaping project around the lodge here. And again, thanks to the Nagleys for their help in starting this landscaping project, and the plants and the wood chips and some of the equipment. And we'll continue to work on this and make this building look really finished as the next year comes along.
So another addition that we added to the lodge was a fire pit behind it. So groups that use it in the summer or winter, they want to come out, sit down, relax, and have a nice fire, they can. Hi, welcome to the shop. There's a few things I want to show you, some of the updates that we've done. First is the trail shack. As you can see, this doorway, I showed you the doors that I took off and moved to the welcome center earlier. So what's going on in here, this is just the cold storage area for things around camp. I got all my parts, plumbing, electrical over here. Over on the other side is paddle building and Bluegrass Festival storage. We're trying to keep as much of this stuff as we can, so what used to be the lockers, I took all the doors off for better accessibility, and I did keep all the doors. So if anybody has an idea of what to do with them, or if you're looking for yours with your name on it, let us know, get a hold of me, and I'll dig it out for you. So next is the prep area, where they did all the cooking. And I have turned this into my office. So all my personal tools and my desk is all in here. Again, more storage, mouse traps, extra fire extinguishers, smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, stuff like that stored in here, stuff that shouldn't be in the cold. And then the main shop, I made a few updates. I put in a chop saw stand, and I reorganized all the parts for all the wrenches, screwdrivers, stuff like that, and just kind of cleaned it up and went through everything. So this campsite development I found and decided to keep and hang up just because I thought it was a really cool part of history of camp. And history at camp should never be erased or forgotten. So the next big project that we got going on for the shop is gonna be a heated garage area. So it's really hard to work on all the camp vehicles, the snowmobile, the four-wheeler, the tractor, especially in the winter months when it's slow, and would be a good time to change the oil and do all that upkeep. So with some help of some volunteers and some fundraising, we are going to add onto the slab a nice heated workspace as a garage for all the vehicles. It's gonna go along this slab all the way up and over, and we're gonna get a new garage door. We're gonna insulate all of it. There is a heater that I found that still works and is in good shape that we're gonna put up. And that project should start sometime this spring, I hope.
And this will allow us to do our own general maintenance,
Yeah.
minimal repairs, things like that on our own vehicles.
So yeah, this will be a good spot to pull the vans, the trucks, do oil changes, brakes.
Tyler, what do you need?
What do I need?
What do you need here at Camp Vermilion? What's the biggest need?
With this project, I really want to get some new LED lights. Insulation is going to be a big one. With how cold everything does get, that would be helpful. And then hands is always a big one. It's always nice to have an extra set of hands. And if you would like to donate something you know would be used, I am always looking to update our tools. I'm a big DeWalt fan, so let me know. But yeah, if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out and contact me. I'm always available. So welcome to the Camp Vermilion office slash home. So it used to be the house for the program director and Joel back in the day. So right now we are currently converting it into apartments and the office. So right here is the office area for Brett and Bobby and me every once in a while. And then back into this other room here is more office space. And we had an extra futon laying around camp, so when we had people come up to work in the office for a day, they had a place to stay if there was no other places available. So in the conversion from turning this into the office to the house, I put up a wall here with a door that can separate the two, so whoever's staying over on the apartment side has their own privacy. And then on this side, as you all know, there's a full kitchen and a sleeping area. So another thing I tackled within this past year is remodeling this healthcare center in here, which used to be, well, it's moved a lot in the last few years, so we're finally getting a stable home for it. So in here will be the sleeping area for the healthcare center, and then on this other side is the sick room for the children, and there is a door to the back that allows easy access, so the person living in here will not be interrupting anybody else that lives in the apartment. So we are at the new sauna just below the Bach house, which is over my shoulder up here. It's year-round, always accessible, always a plowed trail right down to it, so people can even drive down if they need to in the winter. So one of the projects that we did this year on it was we put on a nice deck that goes all the way down to the lake. And the fun story about this deck was it actually came from Wake 'em Up Lodge. It was the deck that all the kids used to stand on waiting to get their food for lunch and dinner and breakfast. So it was a really fun project to reduce, reuse, recycle around camp and show that we're doing our best on everything. And then as you come down here, we poured a cement landing for the dock that we're gonna put in. And the dock is actually the old floating raft that got sectioned up, and it's just going to be a free floating dock that's you'll be able to kind of walk and jump off of. So I want to give you a quick update. So we're going to have two saunas on site. We're going to have this one year round, and then we have the other one over by the priest house that is still under construction. We got the roof up this year. The sauna stove is in the shop waiting to get down, and with it being winter, it's the perfect time to slide it down the hill and get it into place. Next year, we are going to need to do the siding and all the interior work. So if you're willing to come out to camp, please let us know. We're always looking for extra hands. I would also like to add a massive thank you to all the alumni, all the volunteers, and just everybody that made having two saunas possible at camp. Big thank you from everybody here at VLM. So we're down in the harbor, sponsored by United in Christ of Eveleth. And this past summer, they built and installed some new walkways for our canoes. And also this would be the floating dock that is going to go to the sauna.
And this floating dock is the old raft.
Yes, the floating dock is the old raft that I sectioned up last summer.
And what are we replacing that raft with?
So we're replacing that raft with a pontoon that was sitting at Hiawatha that has been transferred over here. It has been ripped down, gutted. This spring we need to put some new plywood and some carpet on top, and then it just needs to be put in the lake and ready for summer. So we're standing at the bottom of the Bachhaus right now, and as you can see, the deck that used to be here is no longer here, and there's an issue with snow coming off the metal roof and crushing the deck. And instead of putting up a new deck and just dealing with that issue again, the future plan would be put it on this side, and at this window above me is where we're going to put in a new door, and we're going to have it a wraparound deck that's going to come all the way down so we can get to the fire pit on the other side. We also plan on redoing a couple of the windows, the siding. We also plan on taking the door out on this back side and replacing a few of these windows that are old and outdated as well.
And Tyler, so putting this front entry, the main entry here, will do two things. One, it'll give us fully accessible entry to the main level of the building, but it'll also remove the traffic from the kitchen entry.
Correct. Yeah, it's going to make everything just a lot more smooth, a better entryway. The kitchen will not be nearly as congested when you're trying to cook and there's people walking in and out. It'll just be a much better flow throughout the whole house.
And when is the hope that we're able to do this work?
I'm hoping that this work can start this summer. I'm hoping to finish the project by the end of summer by the end of this summer. Yes.
And here again, hands are great.
Hands great.
Green treated deck wood, posts,
yes.
etc.
Yeah, we're gonna need all sorts of materials. A lot of hands, a lot of knowledge would be helpful. So if you're interested to learn about carpentry or know stuff about carpentry, come give us a hand. It's always fun to work on site and work on some projects and be a part of what's going to be the future of camp.
And I believe we're going to try and also use some new siding on this. So once we finish the deck and everything, it'll be all finished up tight as
I want to get the same siding that would match the lodge, hopefully.
Yeah. Great. So while we have been dealing with COVID over the last 12 months, we have been making some site adjustments. We've had to do some different things to make sure that the traffic on site is maintained in different ways. One of the things we did here at Camp Vermilion is we moved the gate that was made by Ed Waters out of Chisholm several years ago. I won't date it, but it was before me. We put this gate that used to be over there on your way to the shop, and we moved it up here to help maintain security on site. While we were in the shutdown with the pandemic, we've had to make sure that people aren't on our site without us knowing about it. So this has allowed us to maintain and control that a little bit more. Obviously, you'll see some of the signs and things like that that we're using to make sure this. A lot of our neighbors use this entryway as a walking road year-round. And so this also helps us keep in communication with them, and when they're coming on the site, they can contact Tyler or whoever that's on the site to make sure that we know they're here and that we can help keep them safe, etc. One of the other things we're going to do is update those the routed map sign and the Forest Awards and Conservationist Awards signs. We're going to bring those out here outside the gate so that when you come in, you'll see all that before you enter the split. And then we've just been maintaining this, and eventually we will complete this road by re-graveling the road going out that was put on hold this year due to a lot of other things that have been going on. So that's still the plan, and next time you come in, you'll be able to, at a very minimum, give Tyler a call and say, hey, I'm here, I'd love to see the place. But hopefully this gate will be open and you'll all be welcome to come in, and we'll be able to gather around the campfire. And yeah, so thanks for all the work everyone did at Camp Vermilion this year.
Hi everybody, thank you for doing a little tour today with me. I want to take this moment to just thank all of the volunteers that came out this summer and made it amazing and made so many updates to camp. Thank you to those people that were donating tools and other stuff that makes my job easier and better. Thank you again, thank you so much. I hope to see you this summer with projects, this winter even. I'm always around, I always have stuff to do. If you ever want to come out, take a tour, or work on a few projects, let me know. There's always paddle building, and that's another personal favorite of mine because I get to help lead and instruct and teach you guys how to work with wood and make a beautiful piece of art that you get to take home with you at the end of the weekend. Thank you to all the congregations and churches out there that sponsor cabins and come out and do upkeep and help. Just another notice that we do have work day coming up in May. I'd love to see as many people here as possible to prep camp for summer, and all the campers and all the canoe groups that are going to be coming out.